All right, guys, in this one, I honestly just kind of want to talk to you all about some things that's been on my mind related to Destiny. This probably isn't going to be my most edited video, but with the season coming to an end and us knowing we're going to get exotic buffs, but not knowing exactly what we're getting, making builds or coming up with ideas of what might be the best is kind of difficult right now. Hopefully, we learn more about that Thursday in the TWAB, but as we're recording this right now, this is where we're at. So as you probably saw from the title or the thumbnail of this video, I want to talk about the likelihood of actually receiving new fragments or maybe even new supers to our existing 3.0 subclasses. Right now in the game, we do have all our subclasses updated to its 3.0 form. So the way this whole year worked with 3.0 subclasses is with Witch Queen, Void came out, then with Season of the Haunted, Solar came out, then Season of Plunder, Art came out. So we have our next season that we still don't know anything about quite yet, but we do know that there is not going to be a 3.0 rework in any shape or form because, well, we have all the 3.0 reworks in the game right now. So that's leading a lot of people to wonder if there's going to be a specific stasis season, which I've made a video about, if there's not going to be any elemental affinity season that's going to be kind of all over the place, or what I want to talk about in this video is the potential to even see new fragments, potentially a new super. I'm definitely leaning more towards new fragments to these subclasses. So the reason this is being speculated is because if we take a look at something like Stasis, which is a paid subclass for Beyond Light, you do have access to 4 aspects. On every single other 3.0 subclass, on every single class, Hunter, Warlock, and Titan, you only have 3 aspects. So if anything, probably the easiest thing they could do is add another aspect to all these classes and particularly buff stuff that is weak on them, and also give these classes some new playstyles. Now, you can actually go the opposite way, and you can see that almost every single 3.0 subclass has either 2 or 3 supers in their arsenal, whereas only Stasis has their 1 super. Now, I don't believe we will probably see new Stasis supers. They could throw us a curveball and maybe release new Stasis supers, but I don't think they would do that for actual paid content, being that all the other 3.0 subclasses are for free to play players. So I think it is way, way more likely to actually get a brand new aspect. Now, what could these aspects do for the classes? Like I said a minute ago, this could be particularly just to help out where things are weak. And I do play on my Warlock the most, so I will kind of just give an example on some of these subclasses. So for Arc, everybody hates the Arc supers for Warlock Stormcaller. It is beyond bad compared to every other super in the game. Storm Trance is okay for at clear, but when your abilities can just do what this does better, you might as well not use it. Chaos Reach is okay, but pair that with other supers in the game, they're going to get out pretty much the same amount of damage way faster. And this honestly just isn't as good as DPS as those other supers. So I think an aspect that we could possibly see on something like the Stormcaller is maybe an aspect that actually is involved around your super. Now, they have not been shy to actually implement that in the game. You have things like Solar Hunter, which drastically increases your super. So I think maybe we could see an aspect that would do the same for the Warlocks. I've seen a lot of you in the comment sections that have some great ideas on some of these Arc aspects, with namely the coolest one being your Arc Soul actually being able to shoot out an additional Chaos Reach if you're amplified, which I think could be really cool, but I don't think that will ever happen, but that would be sick and maybe actually make Chaos Reach worth using. Now for Dawnblade Warlock, they're kind of already doing really well. They have Icarus Dash, which is good. Heat Rods' Touch of Flame are already very good aspects as well. But I think that what most people want to go for is an actual healer-based aspect. Sure, they did kind of buff Icarus Dash a little bit, and Touch of Flame does give you a better healing grenade, but I think they could play further into that and actually be able to give you the support class that we've all been wanting on the Warlock that they kind of took away with 3.0. And I think they could really hone in and do something really unique with that. I'm not a game developer. I'm not exactly sure what they would want to do with that. But if there is anything that could work, I think the community would really appreciate that and love it. Now for the Void Warlock, I think they could add some things that aren't focused on Devour. Void Warlock is already relatively good, but the problem is that one of their aspects is called Feed the Void that just basically gives you Devour on an ability kill. The problem with this aspect is that you could just take a fragment that is going to give you Devour on picking up an orb of power. So this one fragment that every class has access to kind of just removes the whole purpose of Feed the Void unless you just want easy Devour procs, which is a thing you can do, but in the grand scheme of things, it isn't like the best thing in the game compared to where Titans can have pretty much unlimited overshields and Hunters can have infinite invis. If they want to play into Devour, maybe they could buff Feed the Void to make Devour do some extra effects, which Devour is already really strong. I don't know if they want to buff that, but I don't really know what direction they could go with this. Maybe give it a overshield aspect, just do something to kind of change the gameplay up, or even play into the pocket singularity melee. This was a huge thing when it came out. It is an okay melee ability. You know, it does the job, but it's not the greatest thing in the game. So maybe given this aspect could be really cool. They could even go the route of buffing your super if they don't know any other route to go down, but they are going to buff the vortex in the next season anyway. So I'm not sure if they would want to do that, but those are just some ideas of things they could do to actually add those additional fragments so it could be in line with the amount of fragments that Stasis has. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you all, I don't know the likelihood of this happening. I think they probably do have something up their sleeve, being that we've all came to expect, 3.0 subclasses with every single season this year at least. So not actually receiving that in the final season that leads up to Lightfall is honestly going to be a little bit of a letdown. It won't be as fun in my opinion, but I know actually allocating resources and probably developing that is extremely difficult. But who knows? Bungie might have something up their sleeve that we don't even know about, and it could potentially even be a brand new stasis super for every single class. But anyway, I think that's going to do it all for me. Let me know what you all think about this idea. Do you think we could see some additional fragments? Also, let me know what you think about this type of content. Just kind of laid back talking to you all. Obviously, again, there's not a lot going on in the season. We don't have any trailer. I will be reacting to the trailer if you guys would like to see that when it eventually drops. And I'm sure I'll be going over the TWAB and some individual videos talking about what could be the next meta. So if you guys like to see any of that, just be sure to stick around. I'm excited for the future. I really hope we get some cool things in the next season, and I'm just really, really ready to learn more about it. Don't keep us waiting anymore, Bungie. I'm very eager, and I just cannot wait for next Tuesday. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.